Welcome to our revision tutorial today. And in our tutorial today, we are going to revise questions in mathematics. So question 1, it's coming from circle properties. And the question says, in the diagram below, A, B, C, and D lie on the circumference of a circle center O. Given that angle BAD is 47 degrees and angle DBC is 28 degrees, calculate angle BOD, which is this one here, the angle at the center. So how do we find that angle? There is a property that says that the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Okay, meaning if where A is there was 30, meaning at O there would have been 60. So for us to find this angle BOD, would say it would be 2 multiplied by angle BAD, like that. So our BOD would be twice of angle BAD, which happens to be 47 degrees. So therefore BOD will be equal to 94 degrees. Okay, then we can go to the next angle, which is angle OBD. Now kindly take note that the distance from O to D, that is the radius, the distance also from O to B, that is the radius, that makes these two distances to be equal. Now when these two distances are equal, this makes this triangle OBD, okay, to be an isosceles triangle. Okay, isosceles triangle, meaning two angles, two sides are equal and two angles are also what? Equal. Okay, so now that at O there I've got 94, therefore we can say that angle OBD equals to 180 degrees minus 94 divide 2. That one is going to give us 86 divided by 2. Then OBD will be equal to 43 degrees. Okay. So that means here it is 43, here it is 94, and there also it is 43 degrees. Okay, then the last question we are told to find BDC, meaning this angle here, a small angle. Now how do we find that angle there? If we have an angle here at C, it will be very easy to find the angle at D. And how do we find that angle at C? Okay, there is a property that says the sum of the two opposite, the sum of the two opposite interior angles continuous angles of a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, adds up to what? To 180 degrees. So meaning the angle at A, which is a BAD, plus the angle at C, which is a BCD, should be equal to 180. Okay, so at A there we've got a 47, then BCD will be equal to 180. When the 47 crosses the equal sign, our BCD will be equal to 180 degrees minus 47. So BCD will be equal to 180 minus 47. That one is going to give us 133 degrees. So if I've got a 133 there, okay, we can now find the angle at D. How do we find it? We shall say BDC plus 133 degrees plus the 28 there at B is equals to 180. So angle BCD, the angles in that triangle, if you add, is supposed to give us 180. So BDC plus, okay, 133 plus 28 is going to give us 161 being equal to 180. 161 crosses the equal sign, that would be BDC will be equal to 180 degrees minus 161. So the difference of the two, that will be equal to 19 degrees. Okay. So we'll go to the next question. This question is coming from bearings. Okay, so the question says that the diagram below shows 3 points O, A, and B, in which O, B, and A, B are equal. So when these are equal, that means that two angles there also are what? Are equal. Meaning the angle at A and the angle at B. So given that the bearing of A from O is 0, 30, and the angle ABO is 40 degrees, calculate the bearing of B from A. So meaning we are putting the north at the from point there. Okay, so meaning the bearing is supposed to come from A going to B. So you put your north at A there. That's why you put the north. So the bearing should go up to B there. Okay. Now the question is, how do you find that bearing? This north that we've put there, okay, supposed to be parallel to the other north, which is at O. So this is parallel. Remember what you learned in grade 9, if you can remember, that when two lines are parallel, you discover that the angle here and the angle here, okay, the angle there and the angle there, they are going to be the same. So meaning that is a 30 there. Okay. So if that's a 30, how do we find our bearing? Okay, since two angles are equal in this triangle, we know there that that's a 30, and the two angles are equal, the angle at A and the angle at what? At O. So how do we find this angle? We shall say 180 minus 40 degrees. We divide by 2. This is going to give us 140 divided by 2. The answer is 70. So if the angle at A there is 70, and then we're going to take an angle there which is a 30, that means the remaining angle here is a 40, the one that is in yellow there. So if that is a 40, that basically means that the bearing of B from A will be 180 degrees minus 40, and that's going to give us 140 degrees. Okay, as simple as that. Then the next question there, we're told that the bearing of O from B. Where are we coming from? We're coming from B going to O. So we'll draw the north at B. Like this. Then going to O like that. Now that is also very simple. Okay. There's a 40 here. Okay, the one that I wrote in yellow. Let me try to change so at least it can be much visible. Okay, there's a 40 there. Okay, still the alternate aspect. This 40 there is making a Z with a north at B. That means this will also be a 40 there. Okay, so if that is a 40, solving this question becomes very easy. One revolution is 360. So meaning the 40 plus the 40 plus this bearing there is supposed to give us 360. Therefore, we shall say that angle there to be 360 minus 40 minus 40. So 360 minus 40 minus 40, we're going to get a 280 degrees. So we can summarize by saying the bearing of B from A, that will be 140 degrees. Then the bearing of O from B, that is 280 degrees, like that. Okay. Our last question. Given that the square root of 2 is equals to 2 to the power x, find the value of what? The value of x. Okay, that is very simple. The square root of that is equals to 2x. Okay, now how do we find that x there? This can also be written as 2 to the power 1 over 2 is equals to 2 what? To 2x there. Therefore, we're able to see that the base is the same, so that means the power also should equate. Our x will be 1 over what? 1 over 2. Okay, that one is coming from a topic called indices. That's where that question is coming from. Then the other one, B there, we are told that the diagram below shows the graph of y being equal to negative x plus 2 and x minus 5 there. Then the graph cuts the x axis at A and B. Then we are told to find the x, so to find the coordinates of point A and point B. Now where A and B is, in this line there, which is the x-axis, the value of y is equal to 0. Okay, so when we get our equation there, which is y being equal to negative x, plus that, then x minus that. Since we have been told that y is equals to 0, so we're going to equate everything to 0, so that we can find the value of what? The value of x. So that means x is equals to 0, negative x plus 2 is equals to 0, and negative x minus 5 is also equal to 0. So you say negative x plus 2 being equal to 0. If the two crosses the equal sign, that will be negative x is equals to 0 minus 2. That will be negative x minus 2. You divide both sides by, okay, that will be equal to what? To 2. Then the other one there, we are told that x minus 5 is equals to 0. Then x equal to 0 plus 5. Our x is equals to 5 there. So as you can see, that tells that the coordinates of A, that will be 2, 0. Then for B, that will be 5, 0. Okay. Then we are told there to find the maximum value of y. Okay, I think the easiest is, you can even use that one where we can find the equation line of symmetry. After finding the equation line of symmetry, then you substitute, okay, in that equation to find the value of y. Now what's the equation line of symmetry? Okay, that equation line of symmetry will require us to express this equation in the quadratic format, but nevertheless we can also say equation line of symmetry is equals to x, which is the x1 and the x2, then divide by 2. Now what are these x? We're basically getting the x coordinate where the line or the curve is cutting the x-axis, okay, which is the 2 there plus the 5 there. You divide by 2, we're going to get 7 divide 2, that will be a 3.5. okay, so once you get a 3.5 there, you can say, okay, put what? X equals to 3.5 in y being equal to negative x plus 2 and x minus 5, like this. So y is equals to the negative there to be negative 3.5 plus 2, then 3.5 minus 5. So negative 3.5 plus 2, that will be negative 1.5 multiplied by 3.5 again minus 5, that will be also negative 1.5. So negative 1.5 multiplied by negative 1.5, that will be positive. So a 15 multiplied by 15, that is 225. So meaning this will be 2.25. okay, as the maximum value of y, or you can say this is equals to 9/4 if you convert it in fraction. Okay, so that is it for today. We are going to meet next time, as we'll be looking at other sets of questions where we'll focus on